Hey, everybody, it's Rich Lieberman with you on a Tuesday. And boy, how time flies. We're almost at the end of June and nearing the 4th of July and all that. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. Welcome to the Rich Lieberman Media Pulse. And I have been working on this for many months now, literally. And I'm going to get right to it. So, as you know, Michael Finney has not been on the air at KGO television since the early part of January. And he's done. He's been done at ABC 7, the ABC owned and operated station in San Francisco. And by the way, I'm the only one who's reported this. So maybe that's indicative of something, and maybe to a bad situation for Finney. Nobody seems to give a damn, but in any event, Michael Finney, 33 years at KGO Television, ABC 7, the consumer editor, the consumer anchor, had a very powerful gig at 900 front, the second high at one point when he was working there, second highest paid personality at KGO, next to Dan Ashley. Had a staff of almost 10 people, producers, consumer people, volunteers who worked this 7 on Your Side, which still exists at KGO, only Finney is no longer at KGO. And he's even confirmed that, not to the public, but to sources who are close to me that have confirmed to me that Michael Finney hasn't been at KGO. And I've talked about this. And those of you who have read me, watched me, you know all about that. Now, I have been hearing, and this is for the better part of a couple of weeks now, Finney and Disney, which of course owns many television stations, including KGO, that there is a very good chance that this separation, this divorce, if you will, that has been heating up is headed, folks, for litigation. Now, Finney is probably in his his late 60s. Been at KGO for almost 34 years until the separation that took place. And it all pretty much had to do with money. And they didn't want to renew him. I don't know the whole various inside stuff, but I do know that there was a divorce. And that Finney, for whatever reason, they didn't renew him. And you might be asking, well, what would be the litigation that is brewing? That has to do, folks, with ageism. And this is something that's been an ongoing issue, not just at KGO, but many stations across the country where these age suits have been popping up. Not all of them, in fact, many of them have been thrown out. They haven't been successful. KGO itself has dealt with this in prior years and years ago. There was a famous case involving the late Ed Leslie, Steve Davis. Steve Davis's case was successful. KPIX, 20 years ago, around that time, several reporters, on-air people sued. It went to court, and the judge threw it out. That wasn't successful. Anyway, back to the present. So Michael Finney, nothing's official yet. Nothing has been, there's been no suit brought forward. But I do know from various good sources, folks, close to the situation, that there appears to be litigation brewing. So, that's a risk in most cases to do that. If you're the talent, you don't want to mess with your career, even in today's weird world where everybody's pretty much leaving. Unless you're tied down to a station or you have a significant placement at the various outlets, which in theory full evidence. Michael Finney, very popular, very, you know, presence at Channel 7 with 7 on Your Side. You've seen him. Well, you haven't seen him since January. So I assume, and this is just my hunch, Finney thought he would get picked up. Disney sometimes works very frugally, very mysterious ways. Therefore, there was a divorce. He was not picked up. How he was let go or terminated, wasn't terminated for cause. They just had a simple, we're not interested anymore. Now, litigation is brewing. There was a case. Many prominent lawyers in town have taken up cases, and mostly involving KGO, Disney. And in fact, KGO itself, there's like 3 or 4 suits that a lot of it is peripheral stuff involving people that are behind the scenes that you wouldn't even know about. This one potentially could be very explosive. And again, nothing official right now. Nothing has actually been served. There hasn't been any, official litigation, where a lawsuit has been filed. But believe me, there is that stage right now where, and usually what happens is an attorney takes a case like this, right? And they file a complaint, or they're about to file a complaint, and they notify the company, whoever, that we're suing such and such. And there's usually, you wait and you see, and they have like 30 days to reply to the complaint. In this case, it would be Disney, and then they wait and see. And then, a lot of these cases, folks, they get settled. They don't even go to court. It's very, very rare. If this is indeed what I believed in now, I wouldn't be reporting this otherwise. A lot of these are settled. So could this be the case with Finney? I think so. And has he retained an attorney? I'm assured of that by various people. We don't know that yet. But, and he's not talking, nor is KGO, which not surprising. But this is really brewing now. And word on the street is any day now there could be a formal lawsuit. And what I've just described, most of the time, they try to settle. But this thing is more than just, you're run-of-the-mill employee. This is a guy, almost 34 years he's been at KGO. And KGO, Disney really, is not in the mood of paying people. They don't like paying the money. And they may have just said to Finney, see you later, alligator, that kind of a thing. And, he's no longer on KGO-TV, Channel 7. And that feature, the 7 on Your Side, the consumer thing, is now basically just volunteers. And what they do is they get people's issues involving consumer situations, and they have an in-house kind of a deal. But Finney hasn't been there, as I said, since the beginning of the year. Something is brewing. Very likely it is involving the legal ends, and we'll watch that. But I thought I would bring it to your attention because of the fact that I've heard more information, which leads me to believe that something indeed will be taking place, and who knows the outcome. But right now, that's the feeling from the inside. Hey, look, you guys have been watching Rich Lieberman. If you watch live, fantastic. If you're watching at another time, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe. Please, and this is very much important also, if you can, make a donation, contribution to my channel here, to my 415 Media, so I can continue to give you stories like this and information and hopefully entertainment, which, by the way, folks, the Chronicle does not cover media like I do. please make a donation. I will personally thank you. I will personally call you or email you if you don't want to be bothered. I will be hip to that, and we'll move along. Thanks for watching. Continue to watch. And remember, I am your source for the information, folks, that you will get nowhere else but here. Keep that in mind. Thanks.